Start recording. There we go. Oh, I guess I should probably also start up Minecraft because that's an important component of this.
Probably.
1.21. And I guess I should also start up Visual Basic because that is also an important component of this. Although I don't need any of these things that are in here now. It's fine. Oh, jeez. Nobody saw anything. There definitely wasn't a bunch of villager and sheep murder.
Nope.
I saw nothing. Ah, shoot. Alrighty. I suppose we can get started then. Let me just fly up here, that way no weird sounds happen. Alrighty. So, welcome one and all to the animation talk. The animation discussion. We're gonna learn how to do some animations today. You wanna make some really good animations like this guy here? Like this? Just click on the play button. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at him looking around. It's pretty crazy. Whoa.
Yo, more skull clubs for the dark, let's go.
No more skulk mobs, please. This is for later.
I don't know though, I got some ideas, I don't know, man.
Well, I'm glad that you have some ideas. But today we're gonna put those ideas aside. If at all possible. And we're going to do another model. Now, when animating, it's important to note what kind of platform that you're animating for. If you notice on this left-hand side right here, this is in Blockbench, by the way, there are quite a lot of things in here. You've got generic model, image, Java block item, Bedrock entity, Bedrock block, modded entity, optified entity, Minecraft skin, Minecraft title, animated Java rig, quick start guide, Blockbench wiki. So, if you were making a model for Mythic, a plugin like Mythic Mobs or whatever, you would want to use, first of all, you'd want to build it in Java block item. That way it obeys the Java rotations, and then you'd want to convert it into a generic model. And inside of the generic model, you can animate it to your specifications. The other way to do that is to just use animated Java rigs. Now, since the release of custom model data in general, animated Java was created, and it initially used armor stands and the various rotations therein in order to animate things. Now, I'm sure if you took 5 seconds to look into it, you'd probably come across videos of like, some pretty impressive animations that are fairly old, of like, models dancing around and what have you. Yeah, that was all done with animated Java. And that was all done with armor stands as well. These days, there's no more armor stands. They're all display entities. Because display entities are just such a godsend as far as Minecraft is concerned. So, what I want to do is I want to just make an animated Java rig, because what we're going to do, and the reason why the last why in the last talk I went ahead and did the data pack creation, is because the animated Java rig utilizes both the resource pack and the data pack. And I'll definitely show you all about this whenever we get into it. So, where do you get this animated Java rig? Because chances are, if you just open up Blockbench, this thing is not going to be here. Well, actually what you can do is click on File, go to Plugins, and then you can do your search up here. I've also got Minecraft title generators, but if you just do a search for animated Java, you'll see that it's right here. And actually, let me update this to the most recent version, because there we go. Alright, it's installed now. So, oh, am I gonna have to reload this? Problems already. Okay, there we go. So animated Java blueprint is what we're looking for. And they've also got an update AJ model folder. This is because whenever they transferred over to the methodology of using item displays instead of armor stands, there were a lot of changes that they needed to make, and I am so glad that they made them. So when you first click into this, you're going to be greeted with this screen right here for blueprint settings, and this is where you basically name your thing. So I think let's do something easy. And I saw that there was a whale on the front of the greeting screen in Blockbench, and I really like that, so let's just make a whale. Texture size should match the largest texture size. Let's just go 32 by 32. Show bounding box. Most of this should definitely just be, standardized. The name to export the project to. So this would be the namespace that your project is going to be. So if you open up the resource packs and I take a look inside of the folder, so this is the resource pack that we made earlier with tutorial resource pack. Inside assets, so tutorial resource pack, this folder right here is our namespace, and it contains all of the stuff that we implemented in here: the hats, the katana, the test sword, yada yada yada. So what this is asking is for us to make a new namespace. So to that end, I'm just going to okay, so to that end, I'm just going to make a folder called tutorial AJ, I guess, and that'll be fine. So this is how the resource pack exports, and since I want to export this into an already existing file, I'm going to leave these be. Same thing with the plugin mode, because the plugin We're going to leave this unchecked because we're not using any plugins to do this. And then this is the item that it's going to make the custom model datas save over. It defaults to white dye, but you can change it to anything that you want. I would probably recommend either white dye or barrier blocks personally. So I'm just gonna leave it as white dye. It's not gonna really hurt anything. And right here is the important part. You've got two. You have two spots that you really need to fill in, and this is what it will actually make it work, right? So you have the resource pack location, and you have the data pack location. So, oh my goodness, my phone is blowing up. I wish I could just turn it off, but I'm far too busy of a person. Alright, so for the resource pack, we're just going to open up the resource pack that we had before, and we're going to just copy this, and then we're just going to paste it into here. Easy peasy. And for the data pack, we're going to locate where the data pack is, which is right here. We're going to copy this, and then we're going to put that into there. Easy. And then other than that, I want this to be 32 by 32. Other than that, this should be, you know, pretty much set. Everything else seems to be in line. So I'm just going to click on confirm. And at this point, we can start modeling. So you might notice that you've got some new features over here. You can do a vanilla item display, which will, you know, display an item. I don't know exactly how this works, or what item that it is going to be displaying. I suppose you can change it here. Yeah, like that. So there's a stick now, which that's kind of interesting. That wasn't there before. Huh. It is a little broken, though. Anyway, we don't really need that, so you could also do a text display, and there's probably a whole lot of options that you can do with the text display. I'm sure that this will use the text command in order to work. You can definitely get that rolling there. And then we have block display. So a block display will basically display a block. And then a locator. And a locator is just like an invisible point where you can display particles and stuff like that. But the only thing that I really need to worry about here is cubes, like standard Minecraft stuff. Just regular modeling cubes. So I'm going to stick to that. And I'm just going to go ahead and we can make like another model. What did I say we were making? A whale, right? So we can go ahead and just make a whale real quick. Whale. So far it's a tube. some good old fins here. We'll just go out like that. It is important to note that you still have to obey the Java rotations. If you don't obey the Java rotations, it's not going to work. Which, by the way, just so that I can put out a reminder, is 22 increments of 22.5 degrees. So that's 22.5, 45, 45, and no, that's it. That's it. It's 22.5 and 45. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, the program will automatically change the axis that it's on, so that way it's always 22.5 or 45. And it'll do that by itself, so you don't have to really pay attention to that so much. Transform, flip X. There we go. And okay, so that's kind of a whale. We can probably make him a little bit more fancy though. Alrighty. That is probably good enough. I don't know what all that is about. Let me see if I can do something about this mouth area. Okay, that's probably good enough. Alright. Now, the next issue is, you may notice that we've got some Z fighting going on, so we can just take care of that. Select the two offending blocks and just do a minus 0.002, and that will take care of that. Or a plus 0.002. It kind of depends on what the dominant block that you want to have on the outside is. But anyway, yeah, that's it. So we have our whale. Ooh, no, I actually want there to be another section to this fin, because that's going to come in handy. Transform, flip X. There we go. And yeah. Perfect. So, so we have this ginormous collection of cubes here. The next thing that we really want to do is group these cubes up into segments that we can actually manipulate. Because if we come over here in the upper right-hand corner to the animation tab, you can see that we can't really select anything because it has to be in a group. See, in animation, the animations that you make are grouped up into segments called bones, and models move on bones. So we have to define these bones. So basically, for the whale, I'm just going to select everything first and foremost, center the pivot point, and I'm going to create one big folder, and I'm going to call this body. And now that I have the body, I'm going to separate it into various pieces. So I'm going to select the head, and then I'm going to add a group. I'm going to call that head. And then specifically for the lower bit of mouth, I'm going to make a new group for that. And I'm going to put the mouth in there. And I'm going to say mouth. And there we go. There's that folder. And now this one, I'll select the middle bit and make a new group called chest. Or really anything that you want, because you can name these things anything you want, just so long as they're identifiable in the in the animator whenever it's time to animate things. Oh my goodness, Roomba, go away. Hold on. I need to send this thing home. Go. Go home. Bad vacuum. I'm busy. Yeah, that's right. You saunter over into that other room. You know what you did. Alright, where was I? Oh, yes. So this, I have it selected and I'm going to name it tail. And then this section right here, I'm going to make another group and call it tail 2. And then this cube in particular, I'm going to call it fin. Tail fin. And then it doesn't have to be down at the bottom, but it is going to bother me unless I fix it. Alright. So this one, we also have to separate out these as well because they are going to be their own pivot points. And so I'm going to select all of those and do add group, and I'm going to call this. Now this is always, my rule of thumb is that whenever I'm modeling these things, my naming convention is in relative perspective of the model itself. So this is the whale's, even though it's on the left for me, this is the whale's right fin. So I'm going to name it right fin. Same thing as this one. It's going to be called left fin. Alrighty. Now, I did separate these into more segments, so I can go ahead and add these as well. Right fin 2. And then for the last one, right fin 3. And the cool thing about this program is that if I just delete that and then select this and do a Control D and flip this on its x-axis, it's going to automatically rename these to their other respective things for me. So I didn't have to make a new folder called left fin because it just did it for me based off of these. But I tell you what I should have did instead is I should have went on to the next part before I copied that over because this will make things easier. Let me actually do one more thing before we move on. There we go. Okay. So, now that we have all these, I'm just going to go over here to the animations, and let's pretend that I have another fin there for right now. And you'll notice now I can select things and move them around. Yay! Uh-oh, I can't. I have to select an animation in order to do this. So I can't actually move this as it is, because I have to create an animation. So up in the left-hand side, you can click Add Animation, and you can just collect, get all of this, and we're going to change the name to Idle. And we're going to loop it, because this is going to be the whale's idle animation. And in here, it's going to say, oh, here's all the included nodes, and you can exclude nodes if you want, in order to have like more advanced, more advanced kind of animations that lead into each other and whatnot. I'm not going to do that for right now. Instead, I'm just going to make a new idle animation, and I have it selected. And now I should be able to move my model. Uh-oh. Oh no. What happened here? This is weird. Oh. Oh no. Oh, that's so bad. So, the reason why this is happening is because we actually have to do a little bit more work to our model in order to make it all correct. We have to identify the pivot points of this model. So just like when I came into the body and I clicked on this box right here called center pivot point, basically what that's saying is that, hey, you're going to put this pivot point into the center of the model. And for the most part, it did, because it's right there. Pretty good, right? But we don't want all of the pivot points to be in the center of the model, because it just won't look right. For example, if you just do this, the whole segments are out of whack. So we have to identify where these bones connect up to the previous bone. So we can just identify like, oh, the fin bone connects to the chest bone, and so on and so forth. So in my right fin, we can start here. I'm going to click on center pivot point, and it's going to put it right there. But that's not exactly where I want it. No. So by pushing the P key, I can actually go into the pivot point view, much like pushing the R key goes into rotating, the V key goes into just translation. The P key will show you where the pivot point is at. So I can actually just move this along the axis. And now you'll notice that if I move it, it's actually moving in the right spot. And whenever you're doing this, you need to make sure that you have the folders selected, because the folders are the actual things that move. There we go. So now I can have a nice, smooth, fluid animation between these things. Although that's probably not where I want it. Let's instead move that pivot point to right here. can see how that kind of changes the whole shape of the bend. Now we are going to run into some Z fighting happening on this fin here, and while I don't think that that's going to be a huge issue whenever we start getting into the animation, we can actually just prefix that right now. The negative 0.002, and then this one we're going to go negative 0.004, which will make it even smaller. So now, whenever I do the rotations, you'll notice that it no longer does the Z fighting on that fin. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and duplicate that. I'm just going to click no because it's talking about keyframes. And I'm going to flip that to the other side. So now that I did that after the pivot points are already set, on the other side, the program should have automatically set the pivot points for me. And it looks like it definitely did. Oh, one more thing. I didn't change this one. My bad. All right. So we got that. Next up, we're gonna deal with the head. And the head bone connects to the chest bone via this spot right here. So we can just make it go up and down like this. And actually, I think, I'm not sure, but I think I want to have it upwards a little bit. Or maybe not. Mouth is going to connect somewhere over here. That way our whale friend can open its mouth. And then this is the chest. And I'm thinking that I want the chest to be the center of the model. So I'm going to just going to go ahead and move this here to the center. That way, did I not? So now you can see that it does this. So it is at the center, so that's good. And the tail is going to go here. Also, oh man, I'm not sure where I want the tail to be. I'm thinking the tail should probably be down at the bottom, and then I'll extend this into the rest of the body. And then tail 2. We're just going to put right here. And then the tail fin, we're going to just put right here, I guess. That's fine. That's fine, probably. Yeah, that works. Alrighty. Hi Hat and Taco making a fish / whale. Love that I joined for the meh. Meh. The whale. Yeah. Yes, I am currently making a whale. We're gonna animate some whaleness right here. In fact, if I just select all of this and make a texture, let's just make a whale texture real quick. Real fast. Just real fast. Whales are kind of blue. We're gonna do an element. Just paint it all. Perfect. And then this bottom bit, we have to do more of a tan color, I guess. Nope. Face. Yeah, that's fine. And then some little eyes. Let's turn on mirror mode. That way I get the other side. Yeah, good. There. I just had a cute idea, a cute little whale hat. A whale hat, huh? That may be coming in your future. There, blowhole. I don't even know if that's where the blowhole goes, but that's where I'm gonna put it. Alrighty. Oh, right. I guess we have to shape the tail real quick. Firstly, let me just... I'm gonna show you a pretty good trick to identify stuff. Alright, so you'll notice that I painted this a really annoying pink color. That's right here. And the reason why I did that is going to be revealed to you soon. So we're going to go just a whale tail kind of shape. Yeah. And then go to connected colors, and we're gonna erase. There we go. Let's give it just a little bit of definition. Just the minute details here, I guess. That's not really what a whale's tail looks like, but I'm not a texture artist, okay? I'm a modeler. All right, so I want the underside to be the exact same thing as the top side, so I'm just going to take this selection tool right here and then copy this tail. Control C, Control V, and then I'm going to put it down here. And you can see that save for the pink, it is the same. So I'm going to click on place, and then I'm going to go ahead and just erase this. And there we go. We've got our whale tail. So pretty good. All right, so back in the editing mode, there's a few reasons why I have done things the way that I have done them. So all of these folders are nested inside of each other. So you can see that, for example, with the head, it is the mouth is attached to the head. which means that as you rotate this folder, the mouth is also going to inherit the rotation of the previous bone. So to that end, on top of what we already have here, we also have to kind of think about how the whale is shaped. Because I've already got, as you saw before, if you turn this, it just kind of free spins on its own. And that's not really how the whale is going to move. So we kind of have to think about that. So I'm just going to take this head bone and I'm going to put it inside the chest bone. And I'm going to take this tail bone and I'm going to put that inside the chest bone too. So now, when I click on the chest and do that same thing, the whole thing moves. As it should. Same thing with the tail. As I move this, the other pieces behind it also move. So everything here should be pretty good. So now we should be good to animate it. So if I go back over here, I'm just going to delete this because there were some changes that happened. I'm going to make a new one, and I'm going to call it idle. And I'm going to have it loop. Now all of these, we're going to leave them in the included nodes because I definitely want them all to be included. And you'll notice that as I, rotate these things around, you want to kind of be careful not to rotate them too far because otherwise, it'll show the limits to your modeling, or you don't want to rotate them in the wrong direction because stuff like this happens. Yeah, so oh man, I tell you what, those fins are really going into the whale's body, so I need to change them. I don't need to erase them. I just need to make them a different color. There. Perfect. So this is going to be the whale's idle pose. Obviously, we don't want this whale to be T-posing in the ocean. We want it to be doing some interesting things like bobbing up and down. So in this, we're going to take a look at all of these, and this here is the animation deck. You might have to fiddle around with some of the settings to get them to display all of these, but I'm just going to close all those out for right now, and I'm going to just click on these items in the order that I want them to appear, and they will appear in that order. So you can see I now have all of these pieces to animate. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, as a whale, it's in the water, right? That's typically where whales live, I think. I haven't been to the ocean in a very long time, but I think that that's where the whales are at. So what happens in the water? We've got buoyancy. So with the body selected, I basically have everything selected, and the piece that I have selected is going to be highlighted with this blue line down here. So very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to click all three of these buttons. Now what that did is that put a keyframe there. And what a keyframe is it's kind of a snapshot as to what rotation, position, and scale the model is at that particular time. See, I could just scale up the whole model just by doing this. So now it's a big whale. But I don't want to. Wide whale. I require wide whale. Yes. So right now I just want to set the keyframe to be this. And then you can drag along the animation slider to get to the next keyframe, which I'm going to have this be at 2. And I'm just going to raise it up by, 2 pixels. And then I'm going to put it down by 2 pixels. And you'll see that as the slider moves, it is now animating to match where I have the keyframes at. Actually, this is... What is this? Oh, there's a little bit of a variance there. So there is a little bit of a variance in this one right here. This one says that its Y value is 0.35, and it may very well be, but I want it to match this exactly. So what I can just do is copy that, drag the slider over here, and click on paste. And now you'll notice that I have a pretty fluid animation of this whale just bobbing up and down. Not only that, but I've also got a bunch of different, animation types. So the interpolation, I can have it be smooth, which is going to smooth everything out and make it even more smooth. And then I have Bezier, which I'm going to be honest, I think what it does is it just makes it more of a kind of a bob. And then I have Step, which will teleport the model to match the keyframes with no animation in between. I quite like smooth. I'm sure that all of these things have their own kind of use case. I typically stick with either linear or smooth for my animations. So, this bobbing whale is pretty nice, but we don't want to just have this whale bobbing up and down. We want it to do other things too, right? That is where we can have some more of these animations. So what happens to these fins? We're going to just move them 25 degrees like so. Like so. Okay. So now the fins are like that. Now, since I didn't have any more keyframes, it is now going to stay like that. It's not going to go back to its original position. It's just going to bob the model up and down, and that's going to be how that plays out. So, however, by this time, we should probably have the fins be down like this. I would have to say. Right? Because it's like it's pushing itself up at this point. Yeah. And then if I wanted to copy this, I just copy this and go to the right fin. And everybody can laugh in hystericalness whenever it doesn't copy for me. There we go. Oh, I don't want to actually do that because that's the wrong values. Dang it. I wish that I could remember what that I actually had. I think I just did 20, right? Yeah. That's good enough, I think. Alright. And then by the time it gets up here, we will let the fins kind of come down. Well, oh, right there. Good enough. Alright, so we have a little bit of a problem here because you can see that that's not exactly what I wanted to happen, because it doesn't make sense that the fins are rising whenever the whale's going up. So I kind of do want to have the fins stay downwards for a little bit. So to that end, I'm just going to copy all of these keyframes right here, and I'm going to paste them here. And now you'll notice that it stays there, but obviously that's also not where I want it to be. So right here, so it's going down. So right here is where I think it should probably go back. So now, if we have it play, yeah. Okay. So now that we have this, we need to work out how to merge the animations together, because we have this issue where right here we have this, and then right here we have this. And it's really easy to merge the animations back together. You just have to copy these and put them down here at the end of the animation. We do run into that same issue though, in that it needs to be on a bit of a delay for longer though. And then we can just select all of this and turn it into smooth. And there we go. It's all smooth now. Isn't that pretty? Now, obviously, we don't need it to be this dramatic and expressive if we were actually making like a serious model here, but anyway, it's fine. Now, what to do about the big tail in the back? Well, we can basically just do the same thing. We're going to right here. And then because this tail comes in a few sections, I'm actually going to offset the animation a little bit. That way we have a little bit of follow through, because offsetting the animation makes it look like there's some weight to it. And then I think we can just come come over here, copy this, and put it down there, and it might just be fine. Let's just make it smooth. And boom. There we go. Look at that. It's beautiful. All right. So, lastly, I do kind of want to give the model a little bit of an overall kind of motion to it. So I am going to go ahead and angle it ever so slightly as it's going up, and then angle it back ever so slightly as it's going down. There we go. Wait, actually. 7.5. Rotation, -2. -2.5. There's a little bit of a jitter there, isn't there? Let's go ahead and copy that there and put that there, and we'll see what that looks like. Yeah. We'll just use the smooth. There we go. Freaking beautiful. Alrighty. Last but not least, we can deal with the mouth. I'm not sure what the mouth should be doing, but I think maybe leave it open, and then we can close it, or partially close it anyway. And then we're just gonna copy and paste it here, and copy. Paste that there. Make it smooth. And boom. I need to do something about the inside of the mouth, though, because that's kind of off-putting. Face. Boom, boom. Oh. Shape. Yep, that's good. Okay. Yeah, so essentially I need more of that covered. There. Look at him! And there we go. There's our idle animation for this whale guy. That's so good. It's actually pretty good. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. Okay. So, that aside, now that we have this done, what do we do with it? Good. I'm glad you asked. Because you obviously asked. So, we can come up here to this animated Java thing, box, and click on Blueprint Settings, and you should notice that... Oh, jeez, why did this change again? Firm. That is the right texture size, right? It is 32 by 32. So it's fine. I don't understand. Anyway. Blueprint name, it changed. I don't know why it changed, but I'm gonna call it Whale again. And inside the blueprint settings, you can see that all this stuff that we set up last time is it should be fine. Should be good to go. But we told this thing where to put things at. So the resource pack and the data pack has all been selected. So if you just click on this animated Java thing, you click on export, and it will go ahead and export this to our game. So, and just like that, the game, or this Blockbench extension, has compiled everything that we need to put this into the game. So the way that we do that is we just type in /reload, data pack's reloaded, and then F3, oh that's F2, F3T to reload the resource pack. And then we can do /trigger, /function, and you'll notice that we have all of these animated Java things in here. Well, we want to ignore most of this. We're going to go to animated Java tutorial aj /summon /default default. Excuse me? Why are you pink blocks? Something's wrong here. It should be called Whale. Is there something wrong with this? Hold on. Oh, it's 512 by 512? That ain't right. Okay. There. Now that warning's gone. I'm going to click on confirm, and we're going to export this again. And hopefully it works. /kill at e type equals item display, comma, distance equals duck 16. /function. I guess I ought to do a reload first. So, /function, animated Java. No. Summon. What the heck? Okay. Something has clearly gone wrong here. Everything was going so fine up until this exact moment. Whale. White die. A bounding box. data pack. Resource pack. Display item path, texture folder. Idle stop. Oh man. I did not want to. Oh. Oh, I think. Okay, that makes sense, I think. Okay. Let me see. Resource packs, tutorial resource pack, assets, animated Java. Okay. Okay, so it didn't actually make a new namespace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. The reason why it did all of that, I can say, is because export namespace was wrong. So this does not make a new namespace for you. This just says, you know, this just says you have to identify your namespace in here that you want your stuff to go into. So I'm just going to click on confirm on that, and then we're going to try to export again. But before I do, I'm going to take a look at the data pack. Oh, also, this is a resource pack. Okay, yeah, that's the resource pack. Tutorial data pack. Okay. Alright. Alright, here's hoping that it works now. Haha. Alright. Reload. F3T. Slash function animated Java tutorial resource pack slash summon. It still says default, and it's still messed up. Why? I'm actually very confused right now. That is supposed to... It is supposed to be a whale, yes. There is an issue here that I'm not quite understanding. This is what I'm trying to import, and this is what I'm getting. Versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. The guy she tells me not to worry about is a giant mess of purple and black cubes. I don't understand. I have this all correct. Pretty sure. White dye. Okay, let me see what the problem is. This is in the data pack. And this is the resource pack. Models, item. Wait, no. Assets, Minecraft, models, item, white dye. What is it saying is the white dye? Item / tutorial resource pack / chest. Item / tutorial resource pack / chest. Animated Java, item, tutorial resource pack, chest. Okay. So we should have animated Java, item, tutorial resource pack, chest. Okay. Well, it is there. Hold on, let me try something real quick. What if I change this to /default/ Okay. Well, there is clearly something wrong with the program. Because it missed the naming scheme there. So well, it's supposed to be really short, simple, sweet, and easy. And apparently they just made it really difficult. But anyway, there's my whale. I can... Now that it's in the game, I can actually do the little summon / summon function animated. There we go. So we have the model. This is the T-pose, and you might be wondering, oh wow, this is really cool that you got the model in here and everything. How do it work? And the cool thing is that if you go and click F3B, you can see that it does have a center and like where it's looking and all kinds of stuff. I was actually kind of honestly thinking that there would be a whole lot more of these things in here. However, it looks as though the program is pretty efficient on where they place them. Either way, you don't have to worry about that. If we just do a /data get entity @e type equals item display comma limit equals 1 comma sort equals nearest, you will get a bunch of information, and this is how it looks. Obviously, this is for the tutorial resource pack.bone.chest. These are all the tags that it has on it. AJ Bone. So if I just do... How we go about animating this is if I just do / execute as at e tag equals aj.root run function animated Java tutorial resource pack animations idle play, it will do nothing. That's because we have to do tag would be aj dot tutorial underscore resource underscore pack dot root. There we go. Okay. And now you can see we got a little animated guy in here. And that's how you do animations. Good lord. It's kind of small for a whale. That is true. And I could make it bigger. But, that's essentially how to go about doing it. So, I would say just make sure to check your namespaces. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, from being involved in all that, does anybody have any questions? Not I. Okay, good. Considering that you and Taco are the only ones in the chat, I am going to assume that that's everything all answered. So, okay. Now that we have a model in the game, the next talk that we're going to do is going to be something along the lines of actually making this thing functional. Because I do have an item in here. If I just cancel and then I will new animated Java blueprint name man turret tutorial resource pack yada yada. That should be all good. Okay. Actually, it's not gonna work like that. I need to grab the model. I sent it to Luke because Luke is my expert level model texturer and he hasn't gotten it done quite yet. Save. Okay, there we go. So I have this model that I modeled out the other day. Let me get back here. And as you can see, this is this looks to be a big turret guy. So the next episode that we're gonna be doing is actually making this thing work. But for right now, I can definitely get into the game if I just do a convert project to an animated Java blueprint. Confirm. I got the man turret in there. And animated Java, blueprint settings, man turret, tutorial resource pack, yada 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 yada. Okay. And then I do an export. cannot read properties of undefined reading default. Okay. That's probably something to do with this plugin. That's unfortunate. So, I'm going to have to work that out. And then whenever we come back into the next one, we can actually make this thing function. It's going to be so cool. And that's going to take a lot of data pack programming, and it's going to take a lot of the, other things with the resource pack. It's going to be great. I promise. You're going to be able to sit into this thing and then shoot it. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, that's all I got. So thank you very much for joining me in my TED Talk on animating models. I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a good night.